If there's anything that I've learned over the past year, it's that opportunity comes in the most unexpected of ways. It could be a sudden boost from the YouTube algorithm, or a Discord message from some guy in Ukraine, or maybe even a single YouTube comment.
This looks and sounds amazing. My name is Cheng. I'm a classical music conductor and composer. I'm doing collaboration with Total Museum in Seoul, Korea right now to do a large-scale public arts project in the metaverse, specifically Minecraft. I've been tasked to do a concert in Minecraft this November. We have a team of engineers ready to help out, but I would love to speak and maybe pitch my idea to you and see if you and your collaborators would be open and advising and collaborating in this project. Thanks, Henry.
Oh, hey Henry.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you
Good to meet you. This is Henry Cheng, composer and conductor extraordinaire. He's collaborated with some of the biggest orchestras in the world, and his work has been featured in several art museums around the globe. And somehow he came across my video. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I mean, before I do all this work and then book a flight to Korea to fly there to shake his hand, I need to know his idea, right? So what was it? And now, a brief music history lesson by somebody woefully unqualified to teach it. In 1960s New York, there was a growing movement in the avant-garde classical scene, a movement that sought to defy the highly structured 12-tone serialism that was popular among academics at the time. This movement came to be called minimalism, and had several key composers involved in its inception. One of which was this guy, Terry Riley, who in 1964 composed his very famous piece in C, named so because, well, it was in the key of C. And this is the sheet music, all in one page. Kind of weird, right? I mean, we've got a bunch of parts here, all numbered and all with differing lengths. I mean, we don't even have a time signature. Don't worry, I'll explain how this works. So at first glance, you can pretty obviously see that there are 53 numbered parts, but there's actually an unwritten 0th part that's just a repeating 8th note on C. This part is repeated throughout the song. Pretty simple so far. This piece is meant to be played by multiple musicians, each repeating a part over and over. They can be the same part, or they can be a different part, as long as they are within 3 parts of each other. The piece begins with all the musicians at part 0. Then, at their discretion, they may move to a new part that can be the next one over, or they can skip parts, provided that they don't break the rule of staying within 3. At any point in the song, any musician may just stop playing and listen, and then come back as they wish. This pattern continues throughout the piece until all of them converge at part 53, at which point the song ends. And that's In C by Terry Riley in a nutshell, an indefinitely long, somewhat improvised song on one slightly odd page of sheet music. What Henry wanted to know is if this could be translated into Redstone. You bet your baton it can, Mr. Cheng. Here's what I have in mind. So we can think of each of the 53 parts as discrete modules. They can either be on if they're being played, or off if they're not. To simplify things, let's only let the players choose to move 1, 2, or 3 parts forward. Then, as each player decides they want to move, the machine will check if that move will break the rule of within 3. But how will it do that? Well, the potential module will have to look 3 modules behind it to see if there are at least 2 modules on. If so, it know that it can be moved to, since one of those modules will stay on after the move, preserving the rule. But also, it needs to look 3 modules ahead of it too, in case that previous check fails. In a situation like this, for instance, player 1 needs to be able to move to this part, but if it only looks backwards, it can't. Looking forward though, it'll realize that player 2 over here should allow this part to be occupied. Cool. But also, we have this scenario where one of the two players on this part want to move forward. So the machine also needs to know whether or not there are multiple players playing a single part. But also...
Whoa, Jazzy, stop. What are you talking about?
Huh? Yeah, so it turns out that everything you just heard was wrong, and I misunderstood the within 3 rule completely. When it said every player needs to be within 3 parts of each other, what it really meant is that every player needs to be contained within the same cluster of 3 parts. So not like this, but like this. So unfortunately, all of this work needs to be redone. But the good news is that it just got a lot simpler. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. Let's slow down and let's do it properly this time. So, deep breath. What are our requirements? Number 1, we need each part to be able to turn on or off. Number 2, we need a way for the player to move either 1, 2, or 3 parts forward as they choose. Number 3, we need a way to enforce the within 3 rule and block any illegal moves. And finally, number 4, we need a way for players to opt in and out of the song as they please. There we go, much more comfortable, don't you think? So, let's start with number 1. For each module, let's first put down a simple SR latch. If the item is in this dropper, it's on, and if it's in the other dropper, it's off. Now on to number 2. To distinguish between moving 1, 2, or 3 parts forward, let's combine it all into one line and use signal strength. A signal strength of 1 moves forward by 1, 2 by 2, and 3 by 3. The selection will come through this black line, and then when it reaches an active module, it'll be passed onto this line, where it will decay by 1 for each module that it passes. When it finally reaches a signal strength of 1, it will attempt to turn on that module. If it succeeds, it'll also reset the previous 3 modules via the orange line. But what might stop it from succeeding? That'll be number 3. Now that we have a better understanding of the within 3 rule, our logic just got a whole lot simpler than last time. All we have to do now is just keep track of the active module that's the furthest back, and then mark the next 3 modules as available to be moved forward. And to do so, we build this small circuit right here, and then connect it to the on-off selector circuit. Now finally, number 4. I designed this part so that if the player decides to opt into the song, it will join the player that is the furthest back. To do so, we'll just simulate a move 1 instruction and then insert it into the selection line at the appropriate spot. To opt out, we'll simply send a pulse into the entire orange circuit and then reset all the modules on a player's row. Now that we've got all this, we just stack additional lines for each player, but keep only one of the circuit governing the rules. We designed our final machine for 7 players total, so we just stack this 7 times. From here, all we have to do is just connect up all the logic so all the layers can talk to each other, and we have a fully functional system. Now, if your head is spinning at this point, I completely understand. I mean, I just condensed like 2 months worth of Redstone design into about 1 minute of talking. I know this isn't the usual in-depth explanation that you've come to expect from the Jazzy Red channel, but the truth is there's just way too much to get into here to put into one video. So I apologize for all the hand waving, but if you want to see some separate videos or maybe even a live stream on the specifics of how this thing actually works, please let me know down in the comment section below. But anyways, this was the brain of the system, complete and looking clean. What was left was the trivial yet extremely tedious process of translating 54 different musical parts into note block loops, cramming them all into the middle of the machine, and then synchronizing them so that they all stay on tempo. I say this was trivial because it was technically easy, but trust me when I say this might have been the most painful thing I have ever done in Minecraft. I'm surprised my middle finger is still attached after all that right-clicking. But alas, I finished the task, and thus the InCPU was born. Doesn't it kind of look like a CPU from above? I don't know, I'm pretty proud of the name. But of course, I didn't do all of this work just to show you guys. We need to get this thing to South Korea, so let's go. All right, so here we are at the Phoenix airport, about to depart for Korea. It is currently just before 5 a.m. and I'm vlogging in public, which is indescribably uncomfortable, but I'm doing it for you. In San Francisco now. I've got a little bit of time to get some breakfast, so thank goodness for that. 13 hours later, we touched down in Seoul, and I've never felt more alive. From there, it was a really nice taxi ride to my hotel, in which I had a beautiful, quaint little room. They even had a little goodie bag with a toothbrush, toothpaste, and even a condom, which was nice of them to assume that I do that. Anyways, I was exhausted from the trip, so I knocked out pretty fast to get ready for day one. Oh, hey Henry.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you
Good to meet you. After meeting Henry at my hotel, he took me to a coffee shop where we discussed the plan for the following days. Then, after a wonderful Korean brunch, we headed to the museum to meet the team and see the space. That should be it.
All right. This is the Total Museum, and then so you can see the sign there.
Yes.
The main exhibition is on the first floor. Today we're gonna go in here.
All right, perfect.
Careful, the floor is a little slippery.
I know, I noticed. Very slippery. 안녕하세요.
This is Jazzy.
Hello.
Yeah.
I even had the chance to meet one of the featured artists who makes these incredibly detailed prints by manually etching copper plates, or at least that's my simplistic understanding of it. Pretty cool. From there, I finally got to see the space where we would be performing in a couple of days.
And here's our space.
Wow. And then it's going to be that wall, right?
It's gonna be that wall. We're gonna
This
have
wall.
little paintings from that wall.
Yeah. But I had a little bit of last minute work to do on the in-CPU. I don't know how this is gonna look, but check this out.
Oh
All right, good morning. Korea day 2, which means rehearsal day 1. Busy day ahead of us today, but we're gonna get the machine in working order and even test it out with some live musicians. So I'm super excited for that. Just gonna be taking a taxi over there very shortly. And honestly pretty nervous, but we should get through it. We should get through it.
Start setting up.
Okay, do we spend most of the day in here?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
awesome.
the whole day out here.
All day in here,
So
awesome.
let's set up like. Okay, so this is what's we're gonna practice. There's about 400 total cues in this piece, including, so the performance will be with 4 live musicians, right? So right now it's just with us, and we can take it really slowly. So we take it step by step. All right. Is everyone ready?
Okay.
So everyone can kind of practice pushing the buttons so you know how it looks and how it feels, please.
Okay.
So now please everybody opt in. So green button. So you're gonna see this gesture. And 2. All right. So everyone feel comfortable with what's going on?
Amazing, yeah.
It'll be pretty wild with live musicians as well. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're good? Yeah. Right?
So day one of rehearsal was a success, but I am so tired right now. It is 8:20 p.m. Gonna go get some dinner and put some finishing touches on the machine, and then it is ready for dress rehearsal and also the actual performance tomorrow night. So yeah, gotta get some rest finally. Good morning. It is currently 8:30 or so in the morning, and today's the big day. We have dress rehearsal, and then we also have the actual performance later tonight. I'm not due at the museum today until about 11 a.m., so I've got a little bit of time to grab a bite to eat and just kind of enjoy the outdoor scenery out there. It's a beautiful day, but it is pretty chilly. So yeah, let's go get some breakfast. On my way back from Starbucks, I tried to find the Hanok place that Henry tried to show me a couple days ago, but it was packed, so we didn't end up going in. And I really wanted to find that place, but it turns out, I just couldn't find it because I'm bad with directions. So I settled with a Starbucks that I passed along the way. It was good, had a nice sandwich and a really big coffee. Probably a little too big, but I think I might need it today. So just enjoying the walk back. Got to change into all black for the concert and the dress rehearsal. So I will see you in my hotel room. All right, fit check. We got a black shirt, black pants, black shoes eventually. And we're concert ready, folks. Not much to say about that. Good morning. Wow, look at all this. Did this all happen this morning?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're finalizing the speakers now.
Yeah.
location. I think it's a little problematic for the speakers to be in front.
Cool. Good morning.
How are you
So that's
doing?
the plan, right, Henry?
How are you doing, Jazzy?
I'm-
Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you? I see you got the coffee,
I
which
got my
means
coffee.
which
I'm
means
ready to
things
go.
are looking up.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. And working with Jazzy, the idea of building it one block at a time.
Across the world from me is interested in my work and interested in collaborating.
Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jazzy and I were talking.
기억이 든다.
비디오 안에 들어가는 시스템.
After the performance, we had a celebratory dinner with the team where I engaged in some light vandalism.
Alright, that's fine for now. Right here?
As you like. Oh, nice, man.
I messed up, but it's part of the character, I suppose.
By the way, if you find this, be sure to post a picture of it and tag me in it. I'm very curious to see if anyone would. Oh, and of course, subscribe. It's literally written on the wall. All right, back at home now, or at the hotel, rather. You can tell I'm tired. It is 11:50 p.m. Just got back from dinner, and oh, what a day. I'd say it was successful, but boy was this a very busy trip. Oh, but right over here, after the performance, I got this beautiful flower arrangement over here. Thank you, Joanne, for this, if you're watching this. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a bath and then see how much energy I can muster up to just kind of wander around tomorrow and do what I can with the few hours that I've got left here in Korea. Day 4 was my final day in Korea, but my flight was at 6 p.m., so I finally had a few hours to myself to explore the city. So enjoy this lovely B-roll of Seoul while I have a little heart-to-heart with you about this whole experience. I'm gonna be straight up with you. This experience was batshit crazy. Pardon my language, but my demographics say that you can handle it. Now, this isn't to say that it wasn't worth it. I think it was 100% worth it. But I also learned a lot from this whole experience. Namely, vlogging is hard, guys. Like, really, really hard. Okay, well, maybe not for everybody, but if you know me in real life, you know that I'm the guy that never pulls out his phone. I never record anything. I don't even take any pictures. I'm a big believer in living in the moment and being fully present in the experience. And to be honest, this trip strengthened that belief. I found that if I was recording, I couldn't effectively split my attention between being in the moment and capturing usable footage. And if I wasn't recording, then there was always a voice in my head questioning whether I should be. In the moment, I actually thought that I was capturing enough footage, but the honest truth is I wish I captured a lot more. Oh, also super random, but it turns out that Worlds 2023 was happening just a couple blocks away from my hotel. No, I did not have to look up what that is. I'm a real gamer, but yeah, that must have been why it was so hard to book a hotel here. Anyways, despite all the challenges, I am very proud of myself for pushing myself this far out of my comfort zone. And I hope you appreciate the effort as well. And if you made it this far, drop "this comment is in the key of C" in the comment section below. Stupid. I hope that you can tell that this video was a huge undertaking for me. So why not throw me a like and subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. Also hit the bell, because who knows, maybe Henry and I will do one of these again sometime, and you don't want to miss that when it happens. But for now, I'm ready to just take it easy for the time being. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2024.